Hello and welcome to the Penno channel for this transfer update regarding Aston Villa. Before we get into this, if you could subscribe if you're new around here, and also let me know your comments. With the subscriptions, we're looking to get to 500 and we're only 81 away. So if you could please subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. So yeah, let me know your thoughts as well in the comments after we get into this. So there's been some big rumours coming out this week, some big news as well regarding Aston Villa and transfers. One big story that's just broke today is Villa looking at Jean Todibo from Nice, the centre-back. Now, this is a highly coveted centre-back. He's 24 years of age, made a couple of international appearances for France. Manchester United have been linked to this centre-back for about a year and a half now. It always seems that they were going in for him. Obviously, Jim Radcliffe took over Manchester United. He had those links with Nice as well, so it looked like he was a player that was eventually going to end up as Manchester United as a centre-back. But today, reports have been released that Aston Villa are interested in his signature. Now, this is very interesting news, and he's a very, very good centre-back. If there's potentially movement with Diego Carlos and Diego Carlos ends up leaving, which I could potentially see, Diego Carlos is 30 years of age now. He's had numerous injuries with his time, especially that Achilles injury that kept him out for so long. He has some appearances where he's sky high, he's unbelievable, but the consistency is sometimes not there with Diego Carlos. So potentially, if an offer comes in, there's been rumours of Saudi or going to other Premier League clubs or even back to Spain. If Diego Carlos was to move on, then Villa would be looking for a centre-back because obviously Clement Lenglet has left now. We haven't signed him on a permanent. And also, Tyrone Mings has come back from injury, and we don't know what level Tyrone Mings is going to come back at and how long that is going to be. So I think a centre-back is definitely going to be required, and Todibo could be the perfect option as well. That would leave us with another right-foot centre-back along with Ezri Konsa, and then you'd have Tyrone Mings and Pau Torres. So that would be your four mainstay centre-backs, 2 left-footers, 2 right-footers as well. So yeah, I'm definitely for that. If that is the case, we'll see if anything develops regarding that. But yeah, the story just broke. And I thought I'd let you guys know because he's a very, very good centre-back and he would fit right in. Great age profile as well. He's only 24 years of age. And he's very close to the France squad. You know, France have an illustrious amount of centre-backs talent. They've got Upamecano, Saliba, Jules Koundé. So they have even Ibrahim Konate. So it's hard to get into that squad in the end, but he's not far off. So he's an excellent centre-back. And yeah, I'd be hoping we'd be going in for, and let's see how that develops. Moving on, there was reports about Paulo Dybala. You know, that story just doesn't seem to go now. If you remember a while back, Paulo Dybala's wife and Emi Martinez did an interview with Ian Wright, and Emi Martinez was talking about how he tries to speak to Argentina players within the squad to try and encourage them to come to Villa. And Dybala's wife was like, bring Dybala. And since then, there's been numerous rumours regarding Dybala coming to Aston Villa, and yet again, it seems like Dybala can be picked up for between 12 to 15 million euros before the end of June. He has some sort of clause within his contract. Now, Paulo Dybala, outstanding player, outstanding talent, you can't deny that. But obviously, he's had injury problems as well throughout his career. Would he be able to adapt to the speed of the Premier League? He's 30 years of age now. But yeah, he's still an Argentinian international. Recently won the World Cup with Emi Martinez as well. So they have a great relationship. If there was a deal to be made there, why not? We are a Champions League side now. That is the market we can shop him. It's just about his fitness levels and his age profile. He's quite old, and it seems like Villa's plan now is anyone of a certain age category. And if they're on high wages, we're more looking to get rid of or move out the door rather than bring in. And obviously, with all the PSR news, we've all seen it, and no extension on the amount of money that can be applied. So it's still 105 and it can't go to 135 million, which was released yesterday. Villa may be operating closer to their means and are going to have to sell some assets, it seems, to be able to strengthen the squad. And I'm not too sure if Paulo Dybala is the route to take if you want to do that, because he's going to have a high wage. He's he's a superstar in that terms, and he'll be on high wages at Roma and would be looking to be on high wages if he were to leave. But the transfer fee itself is ridiculously low, to be honest, between 12 to 15 million euros. That's not a lot for a player of that quality, even at that age. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there's developments regarding that, and if Paulo Dybala is going to be coming to Aston Villa. You can't deny the quality of the player, an unbelievable player on his day. But yeah, the injuries sometimes they just catch up with him, and he can miss a large parts of seasons. So yeah, another one to look out for and see how that develops as well. Another interesting one, and again, a player that's been linked to Villa on numerous occasions, will be going to the Euros with the Netherlands this summer, is Denzel Dumfries. Now, again, Denzel Dumfries is in the last year of his contract with Inter Milan. A good age at 28 years of age, so he's in his prime now. And it looks like he's looking for a move, as well as Inter looking to sell him. Denzel Dumfries, for me, he's a player that is kind of restricted to his position. I don't see him as an auxiliary right back. And if he was to play in our system, I think that would mean a change, as in the left-hand side would not be the attacking side of our back four. And in essence, we'd move to a three, and then the right-hand side, and Denzel Dumfries, if he were to come, would push forward. He'd be further forward. He'd be the attacking fullback. But I think his best position is as a right wing back in a five. So if you're playing a 3-5-2, or any variation on that, I think that's Denzel Dumfries' position. You can't deny his attacking qualities. He's a quality fullback going forward, but he's more of a wing back in that sense, because I don't trust his defensive duties in line with other right backs that are available on the market. But yeah, an interesting player, and obviously bags of experience. We've seen him compete at the highest level with Inter Milan, as well as with the Netherlands within Euros and World Cups as well. Usually has decent tournaments as well when he does play for the Netherlands. So he has that big game experience. Would be great experience as we go into the Champions League as well at his peak. And yeah, he's in the last year of his deal, so there is a deal to be made there. It's looking at around 20 to 25 million euros to get the signature of Denzel Dumfries. And again, it's a position we link with a lot, because numerous reports from local journalists and UK-based journalists state that Emery's looking at a right back to bring in this summer. So yeah, that's another option and a name that no doubt will be continue to be linked with Villa, and potentially somewhere we move. Obviously, coming to the last year's deal, there are bargains to pick up there. And I'm sure Denzel Dumfries is not going to be signing a new deal with Inter Milan, and they're going to be looking to move him on this summer. So yeah, we'll see if there is any developments regarding that as well. And as I said, again, if you could like the stream and subscribe if you're new. Subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 followers. And finally, the last one, and I've left this one until last because I don't think there's much in it, but Andreas Pereira was linked to Villa for around 30 to 35 million in the storm of all the Douglas Luiz rumours to Juventus and Weston McKennie. That story popped up as well regarding Andreas Pereira. I think Fulham will be looking to sell Andreas Pereira, to be honest, if they were able to get 30 to 35 million. My thoughts is, well, Douglas Luiz's agent is Kia Joorabchian. Andreas Pereira's agent is Kia Joorabchian. And we know the dealings of Kia Joorabchian over the years, especially back in the day, if you remember the Carlos Tevez stuff and how that all came about. Kia Joorabchian was his agent, and he's had numerous crossings with Edu and Arteta as well. Some of the players he looks after for Arsenal, and he looks after Douglas Luiz, and he looks after Andreas Pereira. So he looks after those two Brazilians, and I just think that is cross-tied. And with all the news and rumours that have been talked about with Douglas Luiz, it's just been leaked somewhere that Andreas Pereira and Aston Villa is an option, and I'm not too sure that is the truth and validity in that. I just think it's paper talk and how it's been linked, because they both have the same agent. Paying 30 to 35 million for Andreas Pereira, there's an interesting stat on him. He's the most substitute player this season, so he has quality for sure. You don't come through the Manchester United academy if you don't have quality. But Manchester United didn't seem fit for purposes there. Fulham, aside currently, potentially the mid-table, but they'd be a side who would be looking to try and get into European places. We're a side that are currently at Champions League level, and 30 to 35 million. I think there's better options if that were the case. But not a bad player, Andreas Pereira. He does have quality within that. But I'm not sure. I just think it's links because of the agent and all the Italian press that were linking Douglas Luiz to Juventus, and there wasn't much coming from the UK press or UK media or any media outlets. But yeah, it was just coincided with Kia Joorabchian's Douglas Luiz's agent. He's also Andreas Pereira's agent. Potentially, there's some story we could conjure up to say that Douglas Luiz leaving Villa, we'll be looking at Andreas Pereira. But I don't think there's anything in that at all, and it's just paper talk. There'll be loads more rumours, loads more transfer news coming through as well. Also, shout out Rail Union. They've released their away kit. Obviously, Aston Villa and Rail Union have that partnership now. It's claret and blue, and it's got a gold trim. It's a nice kit. It's Adidas as well. I'm going to be looking to see if I can get that kit because it's so nice. It does remind me of the 09-10 night days in terms of the template that's used, but it's an Adidas kit, obviously, and it's got the gold trim on it as well. Yeah, so look out for that as well. And yeah, that's it really. Obviously, we've had the PSR talkings and dealings, and I'll discuss that in another video because there's a lot more to get into there. They're not going to increase the amount from 105 million to 135 million. That was rejected. I think it was 15 clubs voted against it, so and only 2 for. So yeah, the teams in the league weren't having it for some reason. I don't know. Even Crystal Palace put a different proposal, and they weren't having that either. So yeah, interesting developments. And you don't really want to be talking about all the financials with football. You want to support your club and the position that we're in. You'd be hoping Champions League football would allow us to spend, but currently it seems we're restricted and we might have to sell before we do so. But it's going to be a very interesting and exciting summer, even in that regard. And yeah, Unai has a plan, man. So can't wait to see how that develops. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Leave your comments in the video as well if you have any thoughts on the deals that I've mentioned. And if there's any other players you think Villa should be interested in, let me know your thoughts. Share the video, like, and if you're new, subscribe. Thanks for joining Up the Villa.